So we're still down here at Bullpen Capital on Sand Hill Road talking to the founders of the new firm, and I have come to find out I'm sitting at a very famous table. For one thing, a young Michael Arrington discussed the potential for TechCrunch at this table. That's right.
That's right. That's right. So in the summer of 2005, there was a little company getting formed at this kitchen table called Z-Vents. Ethan Stock's the CEO. The company's still running. Vantage Point's the lead investor. And a couple months later, a company called Aggregate Knowledge got formed at this kitchen table, and Rich actually owns the table. And if you don't know, Rich founded Electronic Arts with Trip Hawkins back in the day. So
did that happen at this table as well?
The table's not that old.
Had not yet been planted.
Right. But so as I joke with Mike, we were having barbecues in our backyard here at Net Service. This office is also Net Services Ventures. And we were having a barbecue in the backyard, and we invited this guy named Mike to come to the barbecue. And over burgers, he told us he was going to do this thing called TechCrunch, and he asked me and Ethan and a couple other people if we wouldn't mind coming to a TechCrunch party. Now, the first TechCrunch gathering was at I think it was a Chinese restaurant, and there were like 15 people in the back of the restaurant.
What else has happened around this table? By the way, it's not a kitchen table. It's a conference room table. This would never be in someone's kitchen.
Tell that story too. It used to be.
Well,
Did it really?
Actually, the origin of NSV was my house, and there really was literally businesses formed around that kitchen table. But when we finally decided to take it seriously, we came up here and we had to get a bona fide conference room table, and so it's taken over. But you know, the thing that's wonderful about this is I've been around here far too long to admit to. The thing that's always kept me going is interacting with these bright young guys, and you know, meeting guys like Paul and the partners that I brought in here, the young guys that we brought in here to start companies like Z-Vents and all, is just the classic kind of story of you know, bright people with lots of energy, needing a little bit of money. My belief has always been, you know, the job of people like us is to match the talent with the money. So we don't have the tragedies of Vincent van Gogh, who, you know, is only recognized after he's long gone. Our world gets made around these kind of tables by guys like Paul and Ethan and all the others that have started here, where you take a little bit of money and a bright mind, and something goes off in the mind, the brain, and it creates the future.
I'll tell one other story, too, about something that happened at this table. When a guy named Mike Maples was coming out to Silicon Valley, he had some money from some investors from Austin, Texas. He asked a friend of a friend for an introduction to some guys who were doing some interesting stuff. And Mike's first Monday in Silicon Valley at 10 a.m., he came and he met with Ethan Stock and I at this table. And he's like, look, I got some money from Austin, and can you just please introduce me to some entrepreneurs? And so it's exciting to literally have watched Mike become Floodgate, perhaps one of the most successful super angels. And literally he showed up with his All Shucks Country Bumpkin act from Austin. And with just a few introductions, he was able to get into the ecosystem and make it happen. And in many ways, without Mike's advice and tutelage and counseling back to us as the pay it forward part of this, I don't think Rich Duncan and I would be sitting here doing Bullpen. So in many ways, that favor done those years ago when he came out here has now really manifested itself in Bullpen being formed now at the same table.